he wins it by a half, according to this here in the Telegraph.
Football Rivera bite, I hear his foot's all right, of course it all.
Hello racing fans, and welcome back to Handicapper's Corner, brought to you by the Derby Bar and Grill. I'm Mike Heads, along with Drew Forster. We're going to go through the final day, the closing day on the Hastings Racecourse 2014 meeting on the Sunday, October 26th races that do get underway at 1:50. We have 8 thrillers lined up for you to close out the season.
Absolutely, this is it. This is the grand finale, and of course next weekend, Breeders' Cup weekend starting on Friday. 4 Breeders' Cup races on Friday. Including the Dirt Mile, big one.
It should be a good, that'll be a lot of fun.
And the Distaff, and then of course Saturday.
And then of course we will be doing a show. I'm trying to think, we'll have it out Thursday. I guess we'll be doing the show on Thursday.
Yeah, it'll be up Thursday for sure. We'll try and get it on Wednesday.
Yeah, we'll try and get it as early as possible once we get the valuable, the Bible, the puzzle. We got to get the puzzle
first
before we can get it to you. But we'll get the show out as soon as possible for this year's edition of the Breeders' Cup.
Let's jump right into Sunday, October 26th, last day of racing. First race is an allowance race for horses in starting for 8,000 or less, going a mile and a half. I've gone to the 2 Say Fabulous. He was a chalk last time, got unlucky to get nipped by Talk His Charm late. Talk His Charm isn't in here, not a lot of speed signed on. I think it's Say Fabulous's race to lose. The second spot with the classy old gelding out of the Mel Snow Barn, Gamby, $212,000 earner. He was running up in those 12.5s against tough horses like Bear Rock and Roll, Lauren 500. He fits nicely into this condition. I think he gets up for second. In the third spot, I put Frank Barraby's Bluegrass Man. He's on a roll lately, knocking together a couple of wins. Jeff Birmingham rides for trainer Frank Barraby. I got 2, 3, 5 in the first.
Yeah, I agree. It looks like the 2 Say Fabulous. This horse is a real good marathon horse. He seems to always get hooked. That's why he doesn't win more races. Yeah. He's going these ridiculous paces. Not so much last time, but I mean other times in the go last year. Starts going in 46 for a mile and 3/8, and he's right there at the end, losing to Super Steve. Like, he's a cool horse, and I think he's found a field of that he should be able to beat. So I agree, Say Fabulous to win it. Gamby, if he doesn't win, Gamby's the horse that's got to win, and Bluegrass Man would be my third horse as well. He looks like he's improving, and he might like the extra distance, Bluegrass Man. So don't sell him short.
He's got the breeding for it.
On to the second race, got some $25,000 3-year-olds here, straight 3-year-olds going 6.5 furlongs. I landed on the one. It's Finally Friday, horse that went an absolutely silly pace last time, 45 and change, 110 going a mile and an 1/8, and obviously lost, but still, I admired the way the horse hung in to even finish only beating 5 lengths. So that was a big effort, but I got to go to this Finally Friday, coming back to 6.5 furlongs. I put the 2 Richter Red in for second. Just a nice, hard-trying horse. Had some once again another unlucky trip last time. Actually, the numbers could have changed, but stewards ruled that there was no change. But this horse was impeded pretty severely, passing the stands the first time, and this horse is, he was a little sharp that day. Maybe the return to a sprint will help. And I put the 5 horse Cowie Creek, who's been a great, been a real pleasant surprise for owner trainer Randy Hudson. And this horse has been running some big races and back-to-back big wins at long odds. And wouldn't be surprised to see this horse make some noise in this one. But I do like the one. It's Finally Friday. I think this horse gets the lead. I don't see anyone here to go with him.
He's on the rail. He's going to go.
It's going to be tough to beat. I went 1, 2, and 5.
I see it pretty much the same way. It's Finally Friday. Dropping out of those tougher allowance races into a 25. He's got the lead. He gets Amadeo. A lot of things to like about it. It's Finally Friday. Right. I have Richter Red in the second spot as well, out of the Bruce Unwin barn. Last time, as you mentioned, he was impeded pretty badly. He's running against Off the Top and Wonder World. Pretty tough horses. So I got him in the second spot. In the third spot, I went to Fleming's Beach, a horse who jumped up and won a nice little 12.5. Then he ran against Senior Rojo and Hope Seeker. And very tough race for a young 3-year-old horse to try and tackle horses like Senior Rojo, Hope Seeker.
More seasoned, older horses. Yeah, he gets back in against his own age group.
Back in against 3-year-olds for a price. I got Fleming's Beach in the third spot. But I agree with Mike. On your top pick, it's Finally Friday. 1, 2, and 4 for me in the second. On to the third, 2-year-olds. Last chance to see some 2-year-olds this year, going the 2-year-old distance of 3.5 furlongs, claiming $25,000. I've gone to the 2 horse, Kiss Him Goodbye, out of the Mel Snow Barn. He's got speed. The only time he ran in a 3.5 race, he ran into Jacuzzi Bob and Party Pooper. Yeah. He was third that day to those 2 horses, so softer spot for him. I think he's a logical horse to pick in here, and he's going to be a short price, but I got him on top. I went to the outside horse, Mr. McCaddy, out of the William Levanaway barn. Works look good. The big tip here, he gets Amadeo Perez. Amadeo, I'm sure, had other options in here, and he goes with the first-time starter out of the Levanaway barn. I like the post position. He's got the 7-hole. Amadeo's going to have a lot of options to work out a good trip and try and run down, get some goodbye down the lane. And the third spot, I went to Bruce Unwin's horse, Taylor's Revelaz.
Perfect.
Sure. Nice work, 36. He's working in 36, 35. That's good enough for these kind of horses going 3.5. I went 2, 7, and 1.
I agree with the 2-horse Kiss Him Goodbye, and
most seasoned horses.
22 and 1, 46 flat last time, and if you do the math on that, it's like 3.5 furlongs is in the 39 and change range, which is pretty close to what the final time will be, and he's kind of trying to rate it through those fractions because he still has another 5/16 of a mile to go after the opening half. But Kiss Him Goodbye's got to be dangerous. I agree with the 7, Mr. McCarty in for second. This barn has been noted for getting good horses to run 3.5. They leave there running all the William Levanaway horses. We'll be pulling for Gina Wright too, who works for William, owner breeder of this one. The mare She Is Rough used to run for Ed Thompson. Nice hard trying mare that won a bunch of races, and so I wouldn't be surprised to see this one have some ability. And as you mentioned, Amadeo in the saddle, that certainly is a big plus. I put the 3 Rosalie B, kind of a lazy pick for third. This horse ran well second time out, so against easier, but does step up in class. But I think it's Kiss Him Goodbye or Mr. McCarty. I went 2, 7, and then 3. On to the fourth race, got some 3-year-olds here for 8,000, going 6.5 furlongs. I actually got a couple of Les Hoggart's uncle horses today. I like Uncle Willard in this one. I like Uncle Clarence a little later on. But I did go to Uncle Willard. Very unlucky not to win last time. Richard actually gave the horse a really good ride, but got held up in traffic on the turn. Split horses late and just couldn't quite get up there. But he ran a winning race and ended up losing to a horse like London, who got a perfect trip. Majestic Mark, perfect trip. And this horse didn't receive one, so hopefully a better journey for Uncle Willard. Gets Amadeo Perez. I'm going to go to him to win it. Put the 6 London, who's the obvious pick in for second. Nice win. He's a solid horse at this level. He's the obvious horse. He has speed. He's going to stay clear of trouble. I'm still gambling my horse is going to get a clean trip because he does come from off the pace, Uncle Willard. But London's going to get a good trip. And I put the 5 Wedgie Time for Jim Penny in for third. I went 3, 6, and 5.
I went with London. I put London on top. I actually picked him last time. I liked him last time at this level.
Ran well.
I like him back at this level. I put Uncle Willard, as you mentioned, Craig McPherson, Amadeo Perez for second. I really see between those two, London or Uncle Willard. I think those are the class of the race. Those are the 2 horses that you're going to want to have a good, solid look at in here. I did put London on top, Uncle Willard in the second spot, and I put Devon Way. Ran 4th last time. Only beat 3/4 of a length. There was a bunch from right at the wire with London, Majestic Mark, and Uncle Willard. Only beat 3/4 of a length. He definitely fits in here for trainer Pedro Alvarado. 6, 3, and 2 for me in the 4th. On to the 5th, 3-year-olds, and I'm claiming 16,000. And another one where I think it's a 2-horse race. It's either Bear Rock and Roll or Lauren 500. I gave Bear Rock and Roll the nod because he wins every time.
I keep picking against him.
You keep picking against him. Don't pick him today because you're my good luck charm. I keep picking him.
I did.
Bear Rock and Roll, I put him on top. Amadeo Perez takes over for the injured Richard Hamill. Cool horse. What more can you say about a horse who's 8 starts, 6 wins this year? He knows where the wire is, and he likes to get there first. Port Lauren 500. A little bit of a disappointing run in for 25. Against the Gavin, step up for the money, but drops back down to $16,000 level where he's had quite a bit of success this year. Frank Fuentes sticks with for trainer Rob Maben. Another tough old classy horse in Lauren 500. And the third spot, I went with Briardick County out of the Robbie Anderson barn. Another horse that got the late start. He's rounding into form now. Good third last time behind Bear Rock and Roll on his car. I give him the third spot. 3, 5, and 2.
Yeah, I have the same top 3. I did go to Bear Rock and Roll finally to win it. I don't know why.
Oh, geez.
I know.
Can I change my pick?
I know. And he's not a great sprinter either, but I just see that I just sick and tired. I guess maybe I'm dumb to keep picking against him. I picked Briardick County last time against him, and I thought I made a good pick, but he just ran around him like he was nothing, and I just think, Bear Rock and Roll, even sprinting, is going to get a good pace after the conflict, and Lauren 500 going to go at it. Should get a good trip. I went Bear Rock and Roll over Briardick County, and I put Lauren 500 in for third. But I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if any of those 3 horses won. But Bear Rock and Roll, it's been a cool horse.
He's a win machine.
I'm sure he'll win the
going for his
upper.
22nd win.
There's awards for top claimer and lower claimer at the meet, and I'm sure he's got the upper claimer kind of wrapped up.
Yeah.
Okay, on to the 6th race. Started your final pick 3 of the live season. Got a field of 7 $5,000 maidens going 6.5 furlongs, and ended up, as I mentioned, the other uncle horse, Uncle Clarence, was a distant fourth last time to Fashionista and Whaley's Command, but this horse dwelt at the gate. I didn't know what happened. I mean, we still have to hope that he comes out of the gate. There was no refund of the money or anything, but a little concerned that the blinkers came back on and he refused to break. But he made up a pile of ground and still, he was much the best. He was the best horse in that race last time, bar none. But I'm hoping he's going to leave the gate. Just got to cross my fingers when they spring the latch that he leaves there, and I think he's live. There is a pile of speed in here. You got Mr. Principe on the rail. You got What a Ride, Dr. McKechnie, and Laundered Money. You got at least three good solid speed horses. So Uncle Clarence is going to get a good pace to run at. I got him to win it. I put Whaley's Command in for second and Laundered Money in for third. But I went 7, 2, and 6. But I had to go to Uncle Clarence.
I steered clear because I didn't like that dwell.
I know, I don't blame you. He may not come out of the gate again.
Yeah,
I have no proof that he's going to.
I left him off the ticket because
he didn't work out of the gate or anything.
Yeah, sometimes when those horses do that, they create bad habits, and sometimes it doesn't leave. So I went with Whaley's Command. Hall of Fame trainer Harold Barabee. Two good runner-up efforts. Got beat by Fashionista last time, and I think it's his day to break his maiden. The second spot I put Dr. McKechnie out of the Rosie Anderson barn. Led the whole way, kind of fell apart late last time. I'm just looking, it was a better effort. One of the better efforts the horses had had. It's a lightly raced horse. Rosie knows how to get him ready, and I put Dr. McKechnie in the second spot. And the third spot I put Nana's Buddy out of the John Snow barn. Fifth in its first start. Just has the one start. I look for that horse to take a big step forward in his second start, the son of Snorter, for trainer John Snow and rider Gabriel Asensio. I went 2, 5, and 3 in the sixth. On to the seventh, Fillies and Mares allowance. Last week we had the modern Senior Rojo race, the Harborview, for horses that had not won a stake. This weekend it's the girls' turn, and an absolute standout in here for me is number 4, Cherlani. Hard to believe she actually didn't win a stake this year. She ran some huge races. Her last two, that second to Madeira Park.
She beat the Ballerina winner last time.
Yeah, exactly. She a huge second to Madeira Park, and then beat Touching Promise, who came back and won the Ballerina. So Cherlani for me is absolute standout. If you're going to have a single in any of your multi-race wagers, Cherlani for me is your best bet of the day. I put Pretty Reckless in the second spot. Amadeo Perez for Mike Anderson. Another one, she ran into Hidden Harbor last time. It was very tough at that $25,000 level. And I think it's Cherlani, Pretty Reckless. Then you pick a horse for third. I went with Dave Forster's Flatter You. Got a 63 buyer in the Oaks. I was watching her naturally because it's Pop's horse.
Yep.
I was watching her very close in the Oaks, and she got stopped bad twice, like really bad. Or she might have been quite a bit closer. Obviously not going to beat the likes of Dossalino, Always Myth, or Irish Lyric. But she would have been closer. So for that, I gave her the nod for third spot. I got 4, 3, and 5.
Yeah, I agree with your assessment of the 4, Cherlani. I mean, she is the best in here, I think, by a mile.
Yeah.
I think she is, she's been sprinting a lot this year, and she can route, though.
Yep.
But she is your horse to beat. I put the 3 horse Pretty Reckless, I agree, for second. Still has, she did win going along in a non-2 allowance, but still she has to prove herself against his company at a mile and the 16th. And I put the 2 horse Catalia. I just kept it with the older horses. The other horses are all 3-year-olds. Hey, did you notice Flatter You and Lady at War? But they're all nice quality horses, especially Flatter You. I agree. I probably could have had Flatter You in the mix. But I went 4, 3, and 2. But I think Cherlani is like up here, and then Pretty Reckless, and then it's like a battle for the rest. I went 4, 3, 2 in our Sunday closing day feature. In the 8th and final, maiden $25,000 2-year-olds going 6.5 furlongs, and I think we have a pretty good, pretty live favorite here in the 4 horse. This is the Moment, who lost to his stablemate Aditya last time. It was a good final time. Amadeo rides.
Strong race.
Yeah, it was just this horse is super live in here. Be surprised if it doesn't win. I put the 8 horse Mo Can Do It in for second. This horse ran just in behind This Is the Moment, and I guess this horse with a better trip could turn the tables, but does lose Amadeo Perez to the 4 This Is the Moment. That trapper is ruthless. He just run third last take off. I'm going to take the one that ran a couple inches ahead of it. And I put the 7 horse Dealership in for third.
I like
John Snow, Gabby Asensio. He does some work for John in the morning. It's not surprising to see this one get some allied mount, but some pretty good works, and wouldn't take a big run from this horse to be a player. So I put Dealership in for third, but I went to 4, 7, and 8. Or 4, 8, 7.
I agree with the 4. This is the moment. The Buyers tower over the field.
Yeah.
This looks like the horse to beat in this spot. In the second spot, I took a bit of a flyer in the second spot. I went with number 6, the Queen of Barn Eye, out of the Rob Maben barn. Her first race, down the lane, she made up a ton of ground. I was really impressed with that race behind Bandolero. Came back, she was off for a while. That was in July. She comes back in September. She runs in the Futurity, which was a pretty salty place to make your second start of your life. And now she drops in for 25. I think it's a good spot. And if there's enough pace, she'll be heard from late. If you go back and watch the replay from that first race, she was absolutely flying down the lane. I was really impressed. So I give her another shot. I put her in the second spot. And then third spot, I put Mo Can Do It, as Mike mentioned. A lot of reasons to like that one as well. Good third last time behind. This is the moment. Another one, first time not facing stakes.
Yeah, it was in against first 4 races were stakes.
Well, we're all stakes, so they obviously think a fair bit of this. Son of Stephen got even. First time in for a price. He ran a good third, so he's definitely in the mix as well. I went 4, 6, and 8 in the closing race of the 2014 meet. That'll do it for our analysis of the Sunday final day card. Up next on screen will be our picks. Mike, as always, you're up first.
And our race number 1, I went to the 2, Say Fabulous, 235. Race number 2 under the 1, It's Finally Friday, over the 2, Richter Red, and the 5, Cowie Creek. Third race number 2, Kiss 'Em Goodbye. Hopefully that's lives up to her name. Leaves the gate well and kisses him goodbye. 273 in the third. On the fourth race, I went to the 3, Uncle Willard, over the 6, London. I do think those two stand out, 3 and 6, and I put the 5, Wedgie Time, for third. Fifth race, number 3, Bear Rock and Roll. He's just been a gem of consistency. Put the 2, Briardick County, and the 5, Lauren 500 in behind him. But those are 3 classy dudes, the 3, the 2, and the 5. Sixth race went to the 7, Uncle Clarence, over the 2, Whaley's Command, and the 6, 100 Money. Seventh race, our feature race, I went to the 4, Turlani. Looks like a pretty, looks like one of the best bets of the day.
Yeah.
4-3-2 for me in the 7th, and in the 8th and final, number 4, This Is the Moment. Another live one here for Mike Anderson, 4, 8, and 7.
And up next will be my picks, very similar to Mike's picks.
Yeah, we
got a lot of the same ones.
day.
It was that kind of day.
These horses are...
In the first, number 2, Say Fabulous, over the 3, Gamby, and the 5, Bluegrass Man. In the second, number 1, It's Finally Friday, over the 2, Richter Red, and the 4, Fleming's Beach. In the third, I'm with Mike in the early pick 3, number 2, Kiss 'Em Goodbye, over the 7 and the 1. In the fourth, I went to the 6, London, over the 3 and the 2. In the fifth, what can you say about the ultra-consistent number 3, Bear Rock and Roll, over Lauren 500, Briardick County. As Mike mentioned, 3 very tough old horses. In the 6th, I went to the 2, Wiley's Command, over the 5 and the 3. In the 7th, the feature, number 4, Short Price Turlani, over the 3, Pretty Reckless, and the 5, Flatter You. And the nightcap, again, I'm with Mike on number 4, This Is the Moment, over the 6 and the 8.
All right, I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in to Handicapper's Corner. It'll be the final Hastings Racecourse edition. I'd like to thank our crew, Ray, Jason, everyone here that helps out every day. That, you know, it's just you and I that get the, you know, our shiny faces on television, but there's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes, and we have Kathy Rycroft.
These guys do have real jobs too, so
and they just donate their their time. But Glenn makes them
donate their time.
But once again, thanks to Glenn as well. But yes, it's more than just the two of us making the show, and it's nice to have everyone behind. They got our backs, and it's nice to know. But this is the final Hastings Racecourse edition of Handicapper's Corner for the 2014 season. But of course, we have one more, the
big one.
The Breeders' Cup. We're going to do a Breeders' Cup. We're going to make them donate their time again.
Yes, one more time.
One more time next Wednesday or Thursday. Not sure what day we'll be doing it, but once we get the forms, we'll get it out. We'll try and do the show on a day where we can get it out. So at least you have 24.
We're going to hopefully do it on Wednesday. It all depends on when we get the DRF. We're going to try and do it on Wednesday, so we do have some time. You have some time to look over it and see our picks. But at latest Thursday, but we'll try for Wednesday.
Yep. But if you can't make it out to the track on Sunday, closing day, get out here to the Derby Bar and Grill. And if you are going to the track, we got the big coupon here. Got our selections on it. I got the overnight as well as the 2-for-1 Derby Bar and Grill coupon. On behalf of Drew, thanks, buddy. It's been a great year. We'll see everyone next week for big day next week. Or big weekend Breeders' Cup. Always a signature week if you're a horse racing fan. On behalf of Drew, thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll see you next time here at the Derby Bar and Grill.